Hello guys and welcome back on my channel. So what I am going to be doing today is I'm going to be talking about some more child-free memes. And my computer is noisy and I'm going to be seeing the memes on my computer. So I also hope you can live with that because I can't do much about it. The first meme says, it's Danish. It says, I hate when you hold other people's children and they say, don't you want a little one yourself now? And I say, no, I don't want to be a baker just because I'm holding a piece of bread.
I just think this is an accurate meme.
The next meme says, my parents, if you never have kids, who's gonna take care of you when you're old? Me, money. So I think it's kind of getting old with all the money memes simply because not everyone has a lot of money just because they don't have kids. Some people might be less poor than they would be if they had a kid. So I don't feel like I have like a lot of money myself. It's getting old with all the money memes because just because you don't have a kid does not mean that you have like a lot of money. Friends with kids tell me their kids keep them up all night, and I'm like, again with the money. I just think all these money memes are kind of getting old because you're not necessarily have a lot of money just because you don't have kids. On the left I see tragedy, on the right I see God's plan. The liberated feminist is an atheist, hates masculine, cool gentleman, yet complains she can't find a decent man. Got a crappy tattoo, wears a cake of makeup due to low self-esteem, and so on. Godly trad wife. Really loves and follows her Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Feminine and modest, loving mother praise, and reads the Bible daily, pro-life. So I'm not going to read all of these because you can read it yourself if you want to. But I think the point is made here that this person sees the woman who's like a traditional woman as the right woman, as the best way to be a woman, and sees the person who does not have kids and maybe has more self-expression that this is the bad way to be a woman. And I hate these kind of things because there's no right and wrong way to be a woman. You should just be the person that suits you best. Whether if you want kids or not, it doesn't matter. No one is better than somebody else, you know? We're all under this earth and we're all struggling, and I'm not gonna say I'm better than the next person. So I just hate these stereotypes. I don't think you get anywhere good for stereotypes. So I just hate that this is being used as like the right way to be. Stereotypes just lead to nowhere good, honestly. Plants are the new pets, pets are the new kids. This is from a plant group and I love plants, so I think this is kind of funny. Being a parent means being permanently worried for the rest of your life. This just sounds awful because I'm the person who worries a lot anyway, so having to be worried about a kid for the rest of your life, that just honestly sounds awful. The villain still pursues her. I would say the world would definitely be different if it was a stork that brought us children. Because if it was a stork that brought children, a lot of women with togophobia probably might not have as much against getting a kid, because then the whole pregnancy part is taken out of it. So I think the world would be a lot better if we didn't make the kids ourselves, to be honest, because pregnancy is just scary and there's a lot of things can go wrong, and getting abortion is just so much more safe than going all the way through with a pregnancy. Man, it sucks having no kids. All I do is whatever I want all the time. So I think there's definitely some freedom involved with not having kids. But I also think there can be like really great parts of having kids, because My boyfriend's brother and his wife, they've just become so much better people after they have gotten their kid. So I think there's good and bad in everything, and we should just do what suits us and what we think would be best for us. And if we don't want a kid and we just want to focus on us, that's alright. I would say it is selfish just to want to focus on you and what you want all the time, because you can't really do that in life whether you have kids or not. Because, for example, I have a partner and I have pets, and I also have to think about that. So I can't just do whatever I want, because there's other people who my choices will affect, no matter if I have kids or not. I can't just do whatever I want if I have kids or not. I could do whatever I wanted if I didn't care about other people at all and didn't have pets or a boyfriend or anyone else who would be affected by my choices. But life is just made in such a way that people will get affected by your choices. So you can't just think about yourself, no matter if you have kids or not. I know some people only think about themselves, and that's just wrong. That's just wrong. I'm 30, I'm not married, I have no kids, and that's okay. Definitely. Because I think a lot of people puts pressure on you in your late 20s and in your 30s that you should definitely get married and have kids. But that lifestyle isn't right for everyone. I don't want to get married, and I do not want kids. I have found a partner that I want to be together with for the rest of my life. My favorite part of being a mother has been sacrificing my body, career, mental stability, and physical appearance to wait on them hand and foot, only to be met with, "You don't do anything for me," when I ask them to pick up a fruit snack wrapper. It's very rewarding. I think this is kind of backhanded, because it sounds like, oh, it's so good being a mother, but then she turns around to it. It actually isn't that nice being a mother, because you can do everything for them and still they won't be grateful, because their kids, they do not understand how things work until they reach a certain age. I think your brain is only fully developed when you turn 25. So that's the reason why kids act the way they do, and that can be really hard for parents, because they have more understanding than the kids have, because they're not fully developed yet. This just sounds horrible, honestly. I don't want to sacrifice my body and just my whole life for somebody else in this kind of a way. But I will always be there for my boyfriend and my pets and the people in my life. But I just don't want a kid, and I don't want to be sacrificing so much of my life for another person, ever. My family waiting for me to have kids. Yeah. They are gonna die, because it's never going to happen. So it's just skeletons sitting around the table. People having a baby, I have no time for myself. I'm so tired. I can't do anything I enjoy anymore. I don't even know who I am anymore. You can't imagine how hard it is. So yeah, they're self-sabotaging. That's kind of what this meme is trying to show. And I think for a lot of people it is self-sabotaging, because they should have realized before they have a kid that this is going to be their life. The life is not going to be about them as much anymore. It's going to be about another human being. And if you can't handle your life fully being about another person, then you should not have kids. And I would say actually you should not have a partner, because when you have a partner, you also have another person in your life that's kind of dependent on you. And yeah, just relationships in general. But having a kid, there's so much more responsibility than there is in a normal relationship. I don't know how to pronounce this character's name. Go away. I don't like children. It's kind of funny how the evil characters are portrayed in certain ways, and they're often portrayed as they don't like kids. Just all around in society, not liking kids and not wanting them is just seen as something that's really, really negative. And it isn't. Have you seen the world today? Have you seen where the world is going? Have you seen climate change? Have you heard about people having different opinions than you? Because they do. And their opinions and their life choices should just be validated as much as yours, even if you don't want kids and even if you don't like kids. I think not liking kids is totally okay. We should just not let it turn into hate, because hate just makes you become a bad person, in my opinion. It makes you bitter, and yeah, it's just, hate is just the wrong path to take. Disliking kids is one thing, but hate is just a totally another thing that should not be accepted. And I've made a video about that, the toxic side of the child-free community. If you want to, go watch that. One thing they don't tell you about having kids is just how often you have to get up from where you're sitting. So the person should kind of have figured this out before they got a kid, because it's a 24/7 job. You don't really sit down that often, especially when they're younger, because you have to be there for them all the time, and they will get into trouble because they're small human beings and they don't know better. So if you're really lazy, please don't get a kid. That will just be bad for you and a kid. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being lazy at all, because I think we all need to take breaks and all that, but it's just, it doesn't combine with having a kid being lazy, because when you have a kid, you have to be on a lot of the time. Teach girls it's okay not to want kids. Teach they can be functional people without being a mother. That waiting until the 30 is not too old. Teach girls that they don't have to sell their youth, because motherhood isn't for everyone, and we need to stop acting like it is. Amen. So yeah, it isn't for everyone having kids, and I really think that should be respected. And I don't think that child-free people should be looked down on. I think it's so nice that we nowadays have so many ways to get in connection with how it is being a mother. And especially because people are starting telling the truth. They're not always just painting this perfect picture, because nothing in life is perfect. Not a relationship or not having kids. I love how we come to this place where people being more open and honest about not wanting kids, and being more open and honest about what it takes from you having kids. I cannot imagine having children. There were 3 days last week I was too lazy to feed myself, and I was just cool with it. I'd be in jail. I definitely think that this person is right in what they're saying, but I also think if you have a kid, that something inside you should just start up where you know this being is really, really important. You should do everything for them. Sometimes it can be easier doing stuff for someone else, and you can kind of forget yourself. So I think if this person had a kid, it would be toxic, because they would be forgetting themselves. I don't think that would ever be a good combination, and I think it's great that this person has realized that would not be a good combination. You know, when Donkey followed Trick home and just kept talking, that's what it's like having kids. Not getting your peace and quiet because there's another human being that needs you all the time. It must be really exhausting. When people tell me I'm missing out on the joy of having kids, maybe you are missing out, but how should you know? Because you've never had a kid. And again, with the money, like, I'm not rich. I don't have a lot of money just because I don't have kids. I can't go on holiday or like just shop all the things I want or anything like that just because I don't have kids. Yes, I would be poorer if I had kids, but I'm not rich just because I do not have them. I do not have a lot of money just because I don't have kids. So again, this money thing is getting really, really old very, very quickly. By the age of 30, you should have financial stability, a house, a husband, at least one child. I'm going to do my own thing and be happy. Again, another one where I can say amen, because I think you should really just do what makes you happy, and that just set all these societal standards up for where you should be in your life. I think that's just really wrong, because you never know where you'll be in life. Maybe just like me, you're going for a part-time job because you have your things to fight you with, and you'll be living with your partner, which you love very much, in an apartment that is rented, and you just have pets and you just have a good old time. So you know, there's not like one recipe for how life should be. Life should be what you want it to, and you should create the life you want and not the life that everybody else expects of you. Prepare yourself, but doesn't he look handsome? Return to school photos. I have a thing with not like following people on Facebook, so I don't see these kind of pictures because I don't want to. I think it's great that they love their kid, but please don't share it online. I think it's really wrong to share pictures of your kids online because they have nothing to say because they're so young, and you'd never know if the picture you shared will be abused in any kind of a way by, the wrong kind of people. So my opinion is just don't share them online. Your kid is not old enough to understand consent. So please don't share things like this. This is how little kids cough. So honestly, just the weird cat videos where they like smell something and they're almost about to vomit. I just think it's so funny. Sometimes when something smells really strong, my guinea pigs will make like this weird face. Like, I think it's really, really funny. Pets are amazing. Pets are definitely amazing. I love them. My favorite thing about myself is that I'm not pregnant. Okay, honestly, maybe I should write this in my book. I have a book where I just write everything positive about my life, and I'm just going to write it down. So, thank my body for not choosing to get pregnant. That's just amazing. I also take things that should make it like harder for me to get pregnant anyway. But yeah, that's definitely a great favorite thing to have about yourself, that you're not pregnant. Being pregnant must just be so horrifying. I'm glad it isn't me. The right thing for you, go ahead and do it. I'm just not gonna do it. I think I have a bit of a tocophobia. Just the whole thought around being pregnant is just my worst nightmare. I have never had a maternal urge and never related to the desire that my friends seem to have for having kids one day. And that is totally valid, and that is totally okay, and the most important thing she can do is listen to herself and her gut feeling and never ever get pressured into getting kids if she does not want them. Oh, I don't know if you've seen this, but it's a child-free bingo. It's different when it's your own. Who will take care of you when you're old? You'll change your mind. People who do not want kids are selfish. Don't you like kids? Your children are our future. So I think this is amazing. Whoever made this is amazing, because this is really funny, because this is all the things that people will say to you. And when you reach a certain age, you'll probably have heard most of these or all of these. It's up to you to break the generational trauma. Dang, check out all this extra money and free time I have now. Ending my cursed bloodline. Yeah. I think this is something people really forget to think about when they have kids. As if they aren't a reflective person, they'll just do exactly what their parents have done to them, to their kid. And that's just really, really wrong. Again, with the money. Yeah, I don't get the money part, because it's not like I have a lot of money just because I don't have kids. And free time, well, honestly, maybe I'm weird, but I do not think I have a lot of free time, because there's only things you have to do because you're an adult. And that just takes a lot of time. To give some examples, for example, today I have to clean the dishes, I've just cleaned my earrings, I have to vacuum, I have to clean my pets, I have to record some videos, I have to edit those videos. So that's just some of what I have to do today. But it just many things you have to do in adult life, so I don't really think you have a lot of free time. And I think it can be really hard to make free time sometimes. How motherhood's treating you, moms everywhere. Being a mom is definitely hard, and I think there's a lot of people, especially moms, who has it really hard, especially in the beginning when they get a child, because they have to learn everything. Because they don't know it yet, so I just think it's really, really tough. And I really feel for all the mothers out there. It is a tough job, it really is. And especially because a lot of men, they do not know how to be useful. I don't know how to say it any other way. They don't know how to be useful. And a lot of men think it's alright, they just go out and make the money, and then the mother has to do everything else, and that's not alright, because a job you can come home from, you can have free time. But if the mother has to take care of the home and all the practical stuff and the kids, she will never have a free moment in her life. So I just don't think it's fair, and I think it's really, really tough being a mom. Especially nowadays, where everyone is criticizing you and telling you what you're doing right and wrong, and how you should be doing it and how you shouldn't be doing it. It's really tough, so I really feel for the moms everywhere. You don't understand anxiety unless you've been in this situation. it must just be horrible because the kid just doesn't understand. Like, they're not old enough to understand, and as adults we're just fully developed. Usually when we have a kid, our brains are fully developed, so we just see the world in a whole other way, and just like sometimes I just see things like this. I'm just like, I'm so glad I'm never having kids, because this is just one of those moments you never forget, because she actually opens the door, like the amount of embarrassment must just be so high. And I'm the person who doesn't really forget things that are embarrassing or has been tough on me. So yeah, I would never forget this situation if I were in it, and it must just be absolutely horrible. Oh my gosh, congratulations! Did you just eat a big burrito? Yes. You're glowing, so beautiful. Okay, this is really, really funny. Oh my gosh. So you probably know, if you like eaten a big meal, how it can sit on your body afterwards and you just look like kind of bloated. And yeah, I think it's amazing when people just like, congratulations, you have eaten today, because it is a good thing to have eaten, and not everyone has the means to eat every day. So we should actually celebrate that we can see that someone has eaten, because not everyone, has the means to do that. And I think it's really annoying that people always go to the assumptions, are you pregnant? Like, my mother-in-law says it's fine whether we have kids or not, but there's just been so many moments where she's like, oh, are you pregnant? And I'm just like, no, I do not. I want kids. I've not changed my mind about that. Asking if someone has eaten a big burrito or a good meal, more acceptable to me, definitely. You should start doing that instead. Science can now visually show us the process of a child sucking away a parent's life force. I think there's actually something about like people who are parents doesn't live as long as other people. I don't know if it's just something I've read, and if it's right or wrong, I don't know that. But this is just really funny, because a kid just takes so much from you, because it's a tough job being a mother. I don't even want to say a parent, because mostly it is mothers like doing most of the responsibilities. I've made a video about that if you want to go see it. You're welcome to go see it. We welcome the new baby. There's enough space in here for all of us. And when the baby starts growing, there's only space enough for the baby. Yeah. It's just one thing that's also like really scary about pregnancy, is all your other organs kind of get mushed. The whole thing around pregnancy just, it isn't for me. It is not for me. Like, maybe if we lived in a different world where a lot of things have changed and I wanted kids, and you did not have to get pregnant to like have a kid. I know you can just adopt, but I'm kind of saying like if babies grew on trees or came with the story or something, I would probably have a different view on it, because the whole pregnancy thing is just not for me. No thank you. No thank you. You know what's sweeter than the sound of a child's laughter? The sound of silence from not having any beep. Kids. That's amazing. I still have screaming children though, and they are my 2 guinea pigs. When I wake up in the morning and they know I've woken up and I've turned on the lights, they're just like screaming because they want their vegetables. So I still have screaming kids, but it's nice to have those kind of screaming kids. I don't want the real kind of screaming kids. Piggies are fine for me, kids are not. Be thinking about how I have to work to make money to afford to live on a planet that I didn't even ask to be on. Actually, this is something me and my boyfriend talks a lot about, how you just have to do certain things in life and it might not even be enjoyable for you. It's just, you just have to survive. We talk a lot about how life just mostly just is surviving, and it's not really thriving, because life just is a certain way. You have to wake up to make money, to afford to live where you do, to afford food, and then you have all these adult responsibilities, like you have to clean and you have to shop for groceries and all these kind of things. So just this, it's really tough, like just being alive and You never like got asked if you want to be here. You're just here, you know, and you just have to do what you have to do, and you do that until you can't do it anymore, and then you're old, and then you're gonna die. So that's basically life. It's just waiting to make money, doing your adult chores, and then you get old. So if you're really old and you're shitting in a diaper, like, I don't think that is a life that's worth living, but you can't get help to not be here any longer, and I think that's really wrong. I think it's inhumane that you just have to suffer until you're not here any longer. But that's just my country, that is kind of crazy. That really is what scares me about growing old. That is that I have to stick around until I die. I can't get assistant help to die a little earlier if his life isn't worth living anymore. So I think that's really scary. Guys, this was the video for now. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you still enjoy these videos. And I think it's kind of good to have this combination of humor but still being serious in one video. So I think it's a good combination. And yeah, I really hope you like it. And I hope you like and subscribe if you like me and my content. And of course, as always, I just hope to see you soon in another video. Bye guys!